Daily Broadside, day 569. It's Halloween evening, October 31st, 2023. And I'm not trick-or-treating, actually. This is just a mask I wear around the house for different things, but it is Halloween, though. It's right in the heart of it. Everybody's gearing up to go out and do what they do. I'm just playing Plague Doctor at the house here, you know. It's a typical Tuesday evening. But I was on Netflix here just a little while ago, and I was going to watch a horror movie just because it felt like the right thing to do. And Netflix, y'all dumb. I scrolled to the bottom of the page. Not one horror section was ever suggested to me. I thought to myself, well, maybe they've put out something cool and new for the holiday season. They've not. There's nothing new. Like the newest thing they had was like Us and Get Out or something. But anyway, but I will say this about movies. All right. I am, if you're wanting some suggestions, maybe. Obviously, the classics, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you got your Evil Dead movies, Night of the Living Dead, you got Exorcist, of course. Anything with Bela Lugosi is awesome. The Thing, that's a great movie. The first Alien, stop after that. Just don't go any further. It's just not necessary. Let's see. All those are great movies, but I'm always more. I love those older ones, but I also I find myself going towards psychological stuff too, spirits and all that kind of stuff. I find that a lot more scary than I grew up on slasher films, Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th, and all that crap, but those are really not good movies. And they just beat them into the ground anyway. After what is it, Halloween, which is a stupid movie. I don't care who you are. There's 14 or 15 of those bastards, and they're all dumb. I think I've seen 3 of them, and they're horrible. They're horrible. New stuff. I like everything that Rob Zombie does. I like things like The Visit and The Others, Haunting of Hill House, whatever it was. That was a pretty good piece. When that dude comes in floating across the floor with a little peg on the floor, oh, that was freaky. I like Conjuring type stuff. I like that stuff too. But I like a lot of the 40s and 50s, like the cheesy, low budget horror movies before they knew what they were doing. Those are so funny. And the Mystery Science Theater type things. I like. There's a good one, a Japanese film called Audition. That dude's done a bunch of cool films. I like the Giallo, Giallo, the Dario Argento. What is it? The Four Flies on Velvet or whatever. The bird with the crystal plumage, all that kind of stuff. Those are really cool movies. Foreign films are just so underrated. You know what I mean? Even the cool stuff I've seen. What is it? The Autopsy of Jane Doe. That was pretty good. I love Fright Night. The cheesy 80s stuff. That was cool. 28 Days Later, 28 Months Later, 28 Years Later. All those are good. I think there's only 2 of them. But the best zombie movie of all time, absent Night of the Living Dead, obviously, because of just what it brought to the forefront of the world. But Dead Snow 1 and 2. They're up in Norway, and a bunch of dead Nazi zombies come to life or come to death, whatever they do, and start plaguing the universe and all. So there's just so many campy, cheesy movies that they're just not good movies. The horror genre, it's gotten better, but it's gotten worse too. I hate a remake of any kind. I've never seen a remake that I like. And typically speaking, after the first movie, they just suck. Friday the 13th, it was cool because, that was the mom, but then you watch, after the third one, it really becomes dumb. And what is it, the fourth one, he's not even in it? Or no, maybe I think it's the 5th one. A New Beginning is sick. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, there's just a lot of good movies these days because the production has increased so much, but there's a lot of really stupid ones too. I thought Get Out was kind of dumb. But anyway, those are just my suggestions if you're looking for something to tickle your senses this evening as you realize that you're an adult and you don't go out trick-or-treating anymore. Because what a silly thing. I grew up with those plastic masks with a little slit that you couldn't breathe through. Walking around trying not to get hit by cars. In fact, getting hit by cars is your biggest threat this evening because no one has ever been poisoned or bitten into a razor while they're eating an apple or anything like that. That doesn't exist. Those are all urban legends. They don't exist. There's never been a case of any of that crap that wasn't a prank. You're more likely to not have any peripheral vision to get run over by an F-250. Some diesel asshole that's, got a bunch of kids in the bed, and he just crumples you under his, 28-inch wheels. That's your biggest threat this evening. But speaking of apples, I bobbed for apples one time when I was a kid in like a wash bucket. Probably looking back, probably not the cleanest thing I've ever done in my life. But here's the trick: if you go to a little festival tonight or sometime this week or a fall event or whatever, and you decide, hey, I can bob for an apple, you can't bob for an apple, okay? That waxy outer shell it's probably not a shell, it's a skin. The waxy skin of the apple will not allow you, once wet, to bite into it floating around. You've got to pick out an apple, go towards it, and just jam that sumbitch into the ground, the bottom of the barrel or whatever it is, and then you can bite into it. And then it's really simple. But if you try to do it while it's floating around, it's just not going to work. Halloween. I'll be sitting in my house with the lights off, such that, of course, I live out in the middle of kind of nowhere, so nobody's really going to be coming to my door. In fact, I haven't entertained a trick-or-treater in my entire adult life. I think it's just kind of silly. And plus, a bag of candy is like $50. I'm not spending $50 on some Kit Kats. This is just dumb, And can we say that Cassandra Peterson was one of the smokingest hot chicks on planet Earth? I think we can, and I think we should. And I think if I can get this thing over my fat cabeza, we'll say goodbye. Hey, giddy.